LEGO just released its first ever Sherlock Holmes set in the form of a Book Nook with 1,359 pieces, 5 minifigs for a retail price of $130 US. I know this is a set that many of you are interested in picking up one day. So in this independent review, I'm going to tell you why this is such a fun build, why it is much better than the Balrog Book Nook, and why I think this is a great set. Let's dive in. The Icons box strikes again. The black background allows the set to pop a bit thanks to a white globe, but I can't help but feel it would be better with a more London-y backdrop. The back of the box is very similar to that of the Balrog Book Nook, depicting the closed version of the set in between books, as well as some of the set details. Its 5 minifigs are displayed along the top, including a 1-to-1 shot of Sherlock himself. Inside, you'll find 10 numbered bags, a sheet with 10 stickers, a large-ish plate, and the white instruction manual. Of the 3 June 1st releases that we purchased, this was the best build. From the very beginning, I was locked in and I stayed engaged throughout the entire construction. You start off by laying down the cobblestone walkway. I get that some people don't like placing these small tiles and studs, but I actually enjoy these kinds of builds. Now this wasn't too big, so if you don't like it, it's not a huge deal, but the randomness of the stone's placements was really cool. Once that was done, you start incorporating this subtle angle into the elementary bookshop facade, which really adds depth to the Book Nook style. More on that later. The round window wasn't a crazy hard feature to build, but the ability to open it up is a nice play feature, as is the additional architectural detailing. There are more nice details on level 2, as you use some macaroni tiles to add arches to the exterior. This is a bit similar to the Holiday Main Street set from a couple of years ago, but we add a bit more detail in the middle, which I thought was very nice. Once some flowers are added, you have one facade largely completed. Moving on to the second, I didn't think I would like 222 Baker Street all that much, but I was pleasantly surprised. There is another play feature, which is composed of some simple Technic gears that raise and lower the brick-built main door. The use of grilled bricks was a nice touch and adds some texture to the door. More importantly, the second level has to navigate the hinge for closing the Book Nook. This means it gets split across each half of the set. The sand green walls with black trim is a classic choice, and the use of 2 plate hinges at the top serves the dual purpose of function and architectural detailing. There are more fun details along the edges of the set with a creative technique that allows you to have smooth, rounded edges, as well as an archway welcoming you to Baker Street. I was pleasantly surprised to find that the Baker Street signs, composed of 2 1x3 tiles, was printed, as was this newspaper crying out that Moriarty had disappeared, apparently behind the closed door of 222 Baker Street. The second half of the set includes both 221B Baker Street, Sherlock's domicile, and the rest of 222 Baker Street. Unlike the Balrog Book Nook, which was wide open along the sides, this has a lot of details on the interior, many Easter eggs, including a map of central London, a waterfall painting, Sherlock's violin, and more. The instruction manual gleefully pointed out each small detail that is connected to one of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's mystery masterpieces. Adding complexity to the build was the fact that you have to add a book cover to the back side of the facades. This meant adding some snot bricks and plates in various places. The back book cover is fairly nondescript with the tan plates and reddish-brown tiles, while the other utilized black tiles to depict a rather accurate silhouette of the main character. All told, the combination of Easter eggs, subtle angles, snot techniques, and architectural details made this a very, very fun set to build, much more so than the Balrog Book Nook. In terms of interesting pieces, there are these dark green dome pieces that first appeared in the Grand Emporium back in 2010, but they are appearing for just the 4th time in a set. You have 6 round reddish-brown windows that are always a welcome addition to my collection, a couple of yellow tulips, and the snake pieces, which aren't too common yet. Beyond that, the rest of the pieces were excellent for those of you who like making buildings out of your pieces, and I think you'll find all of them to be useful. Another separation point between this set and the Balrog Book Nook is the number and quality of the minifigs. This set comes with 5 compared to the Balrog's 1, and if you go to the Harry Potter Hogwarts Book Nook, there are 2. So this one definitely has more involved when it comes to the minifigs. Starting with Sherlock, you get a new torso depicting a plaid vest with a dark tan collar and pocket watch. The reddish-brown cape covers the back of his printed torso, and his deerstalker hat is brand new as well. Sherlock's arch-nemesis, Professor Moriarty, also receives a new torso. This one is a black suit with dark blade pinstripes, a white shirt, and a dark blue tie. He gets 2 capes, one large, one small, and a new face print that shows his monocle, black stubble, and evil grin. Likewise, Dr. Watson gets a new torso that is, I think, a lot of fun. It's sand green as an overcoat with a medium nougat button-up sweater, tan plaid shirt, and a reddish-brown bow tie. His new mustachioed and bespectacled head is topped off with a dark brown bowler hat. Irene Adler also gets a new torso. This one is medium lavender, and it has dark purple and gold trim with what Bricklink describes as a metallic light blue tie. The medium lavender, dark purple, and gold trim continued down to her new skirt piece. Her purple shawl does not cover up the simple yet effective printing on the back of her torso. Finally, there's one of Sherlock's irregulars named Paige, who does not have any new elements. The dark blue jacket torso with tan shirt and dark orange scarf has appeared in 3 prior sets, as has the hair and hat combo piece. I really can't argue with the minifig selection and quality here, especially when you compare them to the other 2 Book Nooks. It's clear to me that LEGO did some work on this and put a significant amount of the budget with these new minifigs, and I applaud them for that. The end result of the build is a set that features a little bit of versatility. It can be displayed as a 19th century London streetscape or as a functional book nook. As a streetscape, it has 3 unique facades that, in its totality, has a coherent color scheme. The cobblestone looks great, as do the different doors and even the small interior details that are visible through the windows, such as the books in the window shop, the silhouette that Sherlock used as a decoy in one of the books, and the second level of 221B Baker Street. Even the roof line is somewhat appealing, with the gold accents of 222 Baker Street popping out from the black and blay of the other buildings. When closed, it fits well between books on your shelf or even your end table. There are 2 elements that I think make it better than the Balrog Book Nook. The first is that it is enclosed on the sides, which prevents you from seeing other book covers. The second is the tapering you see of the street as you peer into it. Those subtle angles we mentioned earlier really provide some perspective and allow more of the set's details to be visible when displayed this way. No matter which way you display this set, it looks good from all angles. Perhaps it was the relative disappointment that I felt when I was building the Balrog Book Nook, or perhaps even the LEGO minifig vending machine, which was still a cool set. But I really enjoyed building this. Just the combination of the building techniques and the pieces and how it came together, as well as how good it looks when it's completed. I think it just stands out from the other Book Nooks released in June. Now, I think this is one of those sets where if you love Sherlock Holmes, it can be a bit of a no-brainer. I know my mom loves Sherlock Holmes, and she's going to be picking up this set as soon as she can. If you love Lord of the Rings, I understand why you would get the Balrog Book Nook, perhaps over this one. But if everything else is equal, I think this one definitely wins the day and would earn your priority for purchase. Speaking of purchasing, this one did cost $130 US, which is a little bit higher than the rumored price, or perhaps the original price, which was supposed to be $120. Of course, some of that is due, or probably all of that, due to trade uncertainty and the Trump tariffs. But even if you're spending $130, I think this is a solid value. It has the best price per piece ratio for all the Book Nooks. You get more minifigs, and it is more substantive than the other Book Nooks as well, especially the Balrog Book Nook. So if you're spending $130 on it, I think you can rest assured that it is a solid value. If you're buying it over in Europe and it's 120 euros, I think that's an even better deal. Of course, because there really isn't any need, I think, to rush out and get this set, I would encourage you to wait pick it up when there's a better gift with purchase or any gift with purchase that you like, perhaps double insider points or something along those lines. I don't think you're gonna have a hard time finding this in Lego stores or on lego.com. So I would aim for that if you are planning on getting the set. Now, I do think there are a couple of minor critiques that I had of this, two of which being the roof lines, which I thought were pretty bland using these dark blaze slopes, and the other one being the fairly neutral color scheme of the book covers, especially the tan and reddish brown. I thought they could have improved upon that a little bit better. But then again, I didn't try out a bunch of different color combinations with the covers, but those are, like I said, minor critiques. Overall, I would give this set a 9 out of 10, which is a solid A-, and not a lot of sets get that rating, whether it's from us or the fans over at, say, brickset.com or other fan rating sites. So this is a really good set. I strongly encourage you to pick it up if you like book nooks, or you're interested in the genre, or you like Sherlock Holmes, or you just like really good builds, maybe even if you just like really good pieces for building modulars or something like that. Good job on this one to Lego. All right, so that wraps up this independent review. I hope you learned something. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out some of our other summer release videos. Thanks for watching, and always remember to keep building together.